Good morning again, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, believe me, and I hope that you are too. Flip the switch on if you have forgotten that you woke up today and your soul was returned to you for another day. Now we're into our second day of our Jewish teachings. I have a lot to share, but before we do that, I want to remind you that if you would awaken joy in your life, there's a couple of things that I would suggest you pay attention to or choose to wrestle with. Those of you who've studied with me for many years know that I think there's a lot of reclamation work necessary for what I would call the inner child or the inner teen or the inner young adult. I don't think we should fix ourselves at any previous stage, but yet there might be snippets that we can still integrate and benefit from. And so, for any of you, I have to cut to the bone and not be superficial about this. If you were hurt, really hurt, if you were really disappointed, if you were ever made to feel like you were a loser, if you wanted the recognition, hunger, significance, and you didn't get it, if you wanted love and you didn't get it, if you got shoved aside, if they told you your big dreams were not important, you still have a real chance today to be the strong, wise, loving, friendly coach, and yes, even the parent that you may have wanted but you didn't get, that you always longed for. Well, it's inside you. Everybody has a vulnerable child inside themselves that, if in any way had those experiences, it expects rejection. It's so afraid to show its teary, sniffly, snotty, whiny, needy, frightened little being, or its angry face. Please don't push this little child away from you. It wants to show itself, but it's afraid to. Make it safe for it to show itself to you. Because I can't extend the invitation for you to come out and play with me if you feel threatened. So we have to have the safe space first. And of course, you'll enjoy yourself much more if you look for ways to bring your child out and play. All right, so that's that part. Next is, I know this is a strange thing because there's so many ways we can look at what's happening in reality and say, oh, it's ugly, it's bad, it's malfeasance. But human nature doesn't have to change. It never changes. And there's no need for it to change. But what the need is for us to tap into what good potential there is and not reinforce the other things that we're also capable of, which are not so good. So one way I would say is have a prayerful life. Connect to spirit in whatever way you understand spirit to be. You have to learn to claim that it's actually spirit making the prayer through you and believe it. Never hesitate to approach what you think spirit is, however inarticulate or ill-defined, however bad other experiences you may have had with organized religion. Turn to spirit as you are. Just be sincere and wholehearted. Spirit never refuses to help anybody. In fact, it's spirit that initiates the prayer. What could be greater than that? Spirit is kind of like showing you, I'm with you. Turn to me, open to me. Ask for guidance, ask for healing, ask for whatever. And if you do that, you have a new rich life. And I always say it's a romance with your imagination, so you're free to create it as much as you want, in whatever way you want. No one can tell you how it's supposed to be, what it should be. You don't have to compare it to anybody else. It's just vouchsafed between you and the spirit. Now, a lot of people have what I call post-traumatic stress God disorder. They've experienced some aspect of orthodox toxicity, and it smells bad, it looks bad, it sounds bad. I want no part of it. And you can see the nightmare of history, what organized as religion has done, especially what I call the three people of the book. Although there's great beauty and wonderful things to be found in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they also have histories of horrible genocide and terrible treatment of other human beings who don't believe their dogma. And so if you've rejected that, I understand. But Just as I say, how do you know you've really found your yoga teacher or a good yoga class? Did you leave feeling more alive? Your spiritual trip, spirit is what gives life, right? When you look at a dead body, if you've ever been with a dead body, the first two things that you notice is number one, they ain't moving and breathing, and they don't appear to be conscious. What is it that has been withdrawn? As you've heard me say for many years, it isn't oxygen. You can't put a dead person in an oxygen tent and revive them. Something comes in with the oxygen. Oxygen is the medium through which, in yoga, it's called prana, the life force. And apparently, the life force does those two things: it animates, it creates living beings, and creates consciousness at the same time. So I thought it would be appropriate to give you a story about aliveness, which in the Jewish tradition, maybe you've heard that toast. It's not skol, right? It's not nostrovia. It's l'chaim, to life. Moshe was a water carrier, very, very poor, but he eked out enough living and he saved enough so that every Rosh Hashanah, at the beginning of the new year, he would travel to see his holy rabbi, the seer of Lublin. And every time he would cross the door, the seer would be so overjoyed to see him. He would hug him and make a big deal about it. And all the other disciples wondered, like, who is this little guy? He's a water carrier. But nonetheless, the rabbi loved him tremendously. Now it came time for Rosh Hashanah once again, because it's part of the liturgical year, the new year. And of course, Moshe did what he did every single year. He saved up just enough kopecks to be able to go to see the seer. And he did. And when he crossed the rabbi's door, he was unexpectedly met with the rabbi's horror and aghast when he looked at him and says, Moshe, you can't stay here anymore. He says, why not? I have saved all year to come. You know how important this is. I know, but the angel of death is hovering in your aura. I can't have you here. You have to go back and say goodbye to your wife and children. Oh, he was shocked. What? Is it possible? They didn't call him the seer because he didn't see. And if he said that he saw the angel of death, I must have the angel of death around me. So Moshe was distraught, and he started walking back home, shaking his head. He couldn't believe it. I can't believe the rabbi rejected me. Why wouldn't he want to be with me if it was true that the angel of death was here? Why wouldn't he want me to stay? Oh, he sent me home to say goodbye to my wife and kids. I kind of understand that. So he's walking on the road for a long time or a short time, whatever time it takes in these stories. And then he came across a group of Hasidic students of the seer of Lublin, who was on their way to go to the rabbi for the holiday. And when they saw the downtrodden Moshe, they said, Moshe, what's wrong with you? He said, well, the rabbi rejected me. I went to see him as I do every single year, but this time he said, the angel of death is hovering in your aura, and you can't stay here. Go say goodbye to your wife and kids. And so that's where I'm. Wait a second. Maybe he didn't really see it. Who knows why he said that? You know, the rabbis always have strange reasons for why they do what they do. Besides, why don't you come with us? If you're going to die, you might as well die with the people who are the lovers of the rabbi, huh? So why don't you come with us? So he was so downtrodden, he wasn't in the right mind to make any decision, so he went along with them. And as they were there, they passed by a tavern, and they said, do you have any money? He said, well, I have the money I saved up to be able to come. He says, well, why don't we go in and have a shot of schnapps? So they sat down. He didn't have anything better to do, so they all went down. They poured themselves around. And what's the thing that you say when you're about to drink? L'chaim, to life. And so they schnockered down the first little Schlivlowitz or whatever they were eating. And after they said, not feeling too bad. Why don't we have another round? Sure, why not? They poured out another round. L'chaim, to life. You know, and they did that 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Before you know, they were all schnockered, having a really good time. No pain in the brain, as we say. And they said, come on, let's go to see the rabbi now. And all of a sudden, when they crossed the rabbi's threshold, and you know how important that is? Because for some students, their burdens are heavy, but as soon as they get into the town where the sign says, welcome to Krakow, their burdens drop because they know they're within the aura of the rabbi. For other people, it's not until you kiss the mezuzah on the door and enter into the rabbi's house that your cares drop for you. But for some other people, it's not until you see the rabbi's face that all the cares in the world fall away. And as soon as they crossed the threshold into the rabbi's house, the rabbi said, Moshe, what happened? He says, I don't see the angel of death around your aura anymore. What? He says, What happened? He says, well, I met the Hasids, and we went there, and we kept on drinking, and every time we had a drink, we said, l'chaim to life, l'chaim to life, l'chaim to life, and here I am. He says, you see, shows you the importance of community, because sometimes not even the holy rabbi can take away the fate that's there. But people in the community who love you and are willing to bless you by saying to you, l'chaim, to life, they have the power to do what even the rabbi can't do. Have a great day.